Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear words they're saying.
Back to item number 8, public comments. I'm going to invite anybody in the public wishing to comment at this time. Anybody wishing to comment at this time? Yes, please come forward. Please state your name and address for the record. When the green light is on, Ms. Pierce, there's 60 seconds. Yellow is 30 seconds. In red time, we'd ask you to wrap up and realize there is a second opportunity to comment if it's needed.
Maya Pierce, 1848 Drive. One of the things that I'd like to ask council to look at is when you're talking about the fire service, and I'd also like the citizens to be aware of this. When you look at the assessed valuation, and if the city was to go out on its own annexation, the city would be allowed $1.50 per thousand of assessed valuation and 50 cents per EMS services. When you do the math of the $1.2 billion, that allows the fire department, if it was its own fire district, to have a budget of $2.4 million. And that includes EMS services. And so I would ask the City Council to really evaluate why we are paying $3 million for fire services versus $2.4 million for fire services. So I would just ask you guys to take a look at that. And then just really briefly looking at defining the level of services, I find it real interesting because I know that there's been comments on some surveys that have gone out to the citizens that say these surveys are very pointed in one direction. And I look at this survey and I do see it very pointed in one direction because it does state, how many trained fire department personnel should you respond or should respond to your emergency? And I want to remind the citizens that volunteer firefighters are trained as well, and they're professional as well. So to me, I think my personal opinion is what the council is looking for is council's looking for how many paid firefighters do you want versus how many trained. And I think that needs to be clarified because there is a difference in paid versus volunteer, not in service that they can provide, but in what you're looking for. So, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the public wishing to comment at this time? Anybody? Yes, please come forward. Please state your name and address for the record.
The name is Harold Radell, spelled R-A-E-D-E-L. Live at 1496 East Court, DuPont here. I thank the mayor and the council members for the opportunity to express some of my thoughts concerning the fire department and the levy here. I moved up from Lakeland Village the 6 years this end of this month. Got about my apartment over here. And of course, Lakeland Village, when I went there in 1990, we had the same problem that we have here today. Fire department, down the drain, no paramedics, ambulance services. We had to rely on Medic 1 coming out of Shelton. Sometimes it would be a half an hour, sometimes it would be 3/4 of an hour. I'm a heart patient. I've had 8 heart attacks. I've had 3 shock treatments 3 different times to bring me back to life. I'm also a cancer patient. I'm quite concerned about living over here in this area. I thought it was going to be absolutely great when we had the ambulance service from the base for Lewis. But then I read these comments that it could be 45 minutes. I don't think I could wait 45 minutes if I have another heart attack. I think we need to see about getting an ambulance service here 24/7 as soon as possible. I think that's a very important thing for our city. We shouldn't have to wait as people here living here as citizens to sit and say, well, we don't know if we're going to get an ambulance within 5 minutes or 45 minutes. I volunteered to be on the fire commissioner, be a fire commissioner at Allen, Washington for 4.5 years to get this system up there squared away. So I know quite a bit about fire departments. And I know quite a bit about the ambulances. One of the things that we had a problem with is that our levies, we were asking way too much money for the levies to start with. Now, Fire District 5, there is the second largest fire district in the state of Washington. I don't know if you know that or not. We had equipment up there that was absolutely horrible. Half the time it wouldn't even run the fire department, the engines. So I went out and through the internet, I bought 2 engines, 2 real nice fire engines for $23,000, fully loaded. Fully loaded. We got a 5,000-gallon tanker that we could have extra water with, which was very cheap on going through the internet.
Mr. Rydell, can we please ask you to summarize your comments, and I'd also like to remind you that you have a second opportunity at the end of the meeting as well.
I just would like to see our ambulance service brought up, where we have paramedics here that are available at all times, that we don't have to wait. We should have ambulances sitting right over here at this fire department all the time, available. As far as our fire department is concerned, we can get volunteers. I'm sure there's volunteers. We had volunteers up there, like at Lakeland Village, and it worked out really well. So I don't see why we can't do it here, and I think we should lower that levy down to 50 cents a thousand, so that we can get the paramedic system going, the ambulance service going. And
Thank you very much.
After that.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other citizens wishing to comment? Any other comments? There will be an opportunity at the end of the meeting for comments, and it will be 3 minutes per person. So thank you very much.